It is 7:50 p.m. and I am done driving for the evening. And so let's take a look at what happens when I plug in my car into the EVSE. Oops, that broke. So plug it in. And it turns off, and it'll turn back on in 4 hours. So at approximately midnight, it will come back on. And right now my car is at around 45%. So by the time that I wake up at 6 a.m., it'll be back up around 90 to 95% because I have it set to departure mode. But that's why I can't charge my car during the day. Hey guys, Black Bolt here. Hope everyone is doing well. So just a follow-up video on the battery recall. So after watching Transport Evolved on Monday, I decided to give General Motors a call and see what the best thing for me to do would be, because my car does not charge anytime outside of, or it doesn't go on the level 2 charger anyway, between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. and obviously that's in my garage. So I just called him to ask what the best options would be. So when I spoke to the gentleman, he was very nice and very helpful. So first of all, he recommended that I should still get the second part of the recall done. So I scheduled that for August 6th. That's the next day that they have a tech available at one of the dealers in my area, and also the next day that they would be able to give me a car, because they're going to need to have my car all day potentially. And the reason that they said for that is they may need to change the battery. But anyway, when I called General Motors, what the gentleman recommended to do, since my car only charges on level 2 at night, and that's the only way that I can do it for my car to be usable for me, he recommended, so he just offered to put me in for a buyback. So he said that they would get back to me in around 48 hours. I gave him a call back today, and they had not yet got to me because apparently they are very busy. There are a lot of people who have put in buyback requests. Now my car is a 2017, and it seems that the fires are mostly in 2019 cars. So I am not tremendously concerned, but my wife is far more concerned. So that is something that we're going to look at. So I called them back today and they hadn't got to my case yet. So once they get back to me and they let me know what they are thinking numbers wise, or if they are going to replace my battery or whatever, then I will let you guys know what's up with that. But overall, if I went back 2 years, my 2-year anniversary for ownership of this vehicle is July 31st, so that's in about 12 days. So if I went back two years knowing what I know now, would I still buy this car? Yes, I would. It's still a great car. It's probably my favorite car that I've owned. It's saved me a lot of money and allowed me to keep the majority of the money that I've made doing rideshare over the last 2 years. And to me, the risk of fire is still very low as somebody who knows statistics. But like I said in my previous video, if your car happens to catch fire in your garage, then the risk is too high. But I like the car. I'm planning on keeping it. One of the things that I have been doing is, now when I get home after driving in the morning before work, is I plug it into the level 1 charger in my garage, and I set it to 12 amps. So you can see when you set it to 12 amps, it gives this warning, but I believe that my garage is set up to be able to handle 12 amps. So I do that, and then I've also gone in energy preferences, and I'm gonna focus on the road. Just a second. So apparently it doesn't like you messing around with this stuff while driving. So let's come to a full stop. Now my radio is not working properly again. You can see all of this stuff is grayed out, and it's not letting me adjust the energy settings for whatever reason. So let's go charging. Okay, so the departure mode went away, but I have you can see I have departure mode set up to 6:15, and I leave home at around 6 a.m. every morning, so my car is rarely going to charge to 95%. So if we look at this usage screen, you can see that energy used since last full charge, and for me a full charge is 95, is 86.6 kilowatt hours. So obviously I am not charging this car to its full capacity, but I'm still getting a lot of range out of it. I've driven around 90 miles today, and along with trickle charging between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. I still have 139 miles of range remaining, and that's with the AC turned on. If I turn off the AC, you can see it's up to 149. So still happy with the car. I will keep you guys posted on what General Motors says about the buyback, and I did let them know that my car was at 137,000 miles, and that didn't seem to be an issue for the gentleman that I spoke to. So it seems like GM might be taking this very seriously, and I hope that they are, because fires are a big deal. And as of now I'm at 137,542, so I've been racking up the miles, and if it takes too long to get back to me, like another handful of days early next week, I'm already going to be over 138,000 miles, so it'll be over 1,000 mile difference. So if they decide to buy back or replace the battery, then they would need to recalculate their numbers based on me having more miles on the car than when I initially talked to them. So anyway, those are my thoughts, and that's what I'm doing to kind of mitigate the battery issue. And I'm keeping my car plugged in during the day, even though it's more expensive. It is 3 times more expensive for me to charge using the trickle charger than it is for me to use the level 2 charger. But when I do that, I'm not going to drop below 20% on any given day. So that's going to keep me out of that kind of dangerous range, because the cars that have caught fire have been basically charging from empty to full in one sitting. So I'm comfortable with the car. We'll see what they say about a buyback, and we'll take things from there. But otherwise, I kind of just plan on keeping the car. I like it, unless my wife really says that we need to sell it. So anyway, hope you guys are doing great. I will follow up once I hear back from the General.